Boy, free agency is heating up. Alright, folks, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the D.Bell Sports Podcast. I'm your host, D.Bell. Today we're going to be talking about the latest in Cowboys news. Let's get into it. Of course, it's 9 days until free agency starts March 12th at 4 o'clock. So there's going to be some moves happening. Well, let's talk about the Cowboys for a little bit. Osa Odigizua, I thought we were going to try to negotiate a contract extension, but it looks like we might use the franchise tag on him. Very good. We have to keep some of our key defensive players, which we'll talk about a few more later on. But, oh boy, I mean, if we franchise tag him, we're just kicking the can down the road, but it might help us keep a good player around for this season. Man. Story number two, Jerry Jones declined to address the media at the combine, and he didn't talk on the bus. Apparently, he usually does that. So I don't know. I mean, Steven did. Is this this an indication? Maybe Jerry's handing off the reins, GM duties and the title and all that. I have no idea. Maybe it's a marketing ploy or lack of marketing, because he said going all in last season and really bit him, because all in to Cowboys fans really meant we're getting a key running back like Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. Obviously, we didn't do that, and we had to rely on a few other running backs, and that's what happens. But we're definitely going to draft a running back this year. I mean, we lucked out with Rico Dowdle, but didn't we have Royce Freeman for like 5 minutes? I don't know. I can't remember, because we brought back Zeke, and that was a mistake. And oh boy, Deuce Vaughn didn't do much at all. So I don't know. But yeah, those all-in comments. Oh boy. I mean, we'll see what happens this year. But I don't know. Maybe he is taking a step back. Obviously Stevens' his son. He'll inherit the Cowboys. That's what happens now. The owners, they pass it off to their kids. So unless they really want to sell it, which does happen, but a lot of times they just pass it on to the family. So I have no idea. We'll figure it out. But now someone who is retiring is Jimmy Johnson. He's retiring from Fox Sports. He announced it on The Herd with Colin Cowherd, which I love that show. I watched that along with a few Cowboys YouTube channels, that, and it's but it's a sad day. Jimmy Johnson, of course, our former head coach, 2 Super Bowl victories with us. Of course, could have had a third, but he was fired. Little power struggle there, but he did get us 2 Super Bowls and built a team that got us the third one. National championship in '87 with the Miami Hurricanes as well, and Coach of the Year in 1990. He brought over a few of those players from Miami to the Cowboys. Actually, he will be 82 years old this year. So yeah, I guess retirement. He was talking about retirement for the last few years, so I guess it's official. Deebo Samuel goes to the Commanders for a 5th round pick. I hate this. We have so many 5th round picks we could have negotiated. We could have tried to get Deebo Samuel. Now he goes to a rival that just went to the championship game, and they're going to have pressure, a lot of pressure to go back. Dan Quinn proved hey, I just went to a national championship game my first year. Jaden Daniels. Now we have, with a lot of free agents signed. Zach Ertz. They went to the championship game with Zach Ertz, and he balled out for him. So yeah, they're going to try to get Deebo Samuel, try to get him back to form, and try to go back to that championship game. The pressure's on, whatever it takes now. I mean, he's an aging player. He has 1 more year on his contract with San Francisco. I mean, no one's going to get anyone in their prime, so I know. But do we even try? I mean, we could have tried to give up a 4th round pick. Oh, except we don't have a 4th round pick because we traded it for Jonathan Mingo. I don't get it. I don't get why we burn our fourth round picks twice, 2 years in a row. Trey Lance and now Jonathan Mingo. We need those fourth round picks to rebuild the team. Very frustrating. Anyway, now we have to get Cooper Kupp no matter what because we need a number 2 receiver, and he could be it. He could help us. Cooper Kupp would be great. He's a Super Bowl champion. Of course, he's also an aging player, but they're all aging players. That's what free agency is. You get your contract, you get some money, you do 5, 6, 7 years, whatever. You decide not to re-up your contract, you're a free agent. So, there are no 23-year-old free agents. Okay, so yeah. We're meeting with Miami running back Damian Martinez for Dallas Day. That's nice. I mentioned Damian Martinez in one of my last videos for possible draft scenarios that we could do. He went to high school in Louisville, so it's Dallas Day is for people with DFW connections, looks apparently. So he went to high school in Louisville, so it was like, come on by. He's projected as a second-day prospect, so hey, if we get him, I'm not going to be mad. We just need to get a running back, okay? I spelled all this out in the draft video last week anyway. Ashton Jaunty is another possibility to go to Dallas Day because he went to Lone Star High School in Frisco after growing up on military bases in Europe. He came back to the U.S. In Frisco, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd be very excited to see them both there. Alright, last month, Jake Ferguson, I didn't mention this, restructured his contract to reduce his salary and free up cap space. Very good, Jake. Very good. Thank you for your sacrifice. Yeah, up and down season with some injuries. Week 1, knee injury. Week 11, a concussion. But he's signed a 4-year, $4.36 million contract in, I believe, 2022. That's when we got him. So this will be his 4th year, and hopefully he had a little down year, but hopefully he can rebound in 25, unless we get a shiny new tight end. But I don't know if we do, our running back, our tight end room will be like complete. But if we don't, like, we'll expect him to ball out. Lunda Wells is our tight end coach. He's been with us since 2020. He got a contract extension, so we're keeping him. He says that we have a bright future for Jake. He wants to bring him back to form as well. He had a little bit of a decline, but hopefully we can bring him back. I mean, everyone compares the tight ends to Jason Witten, so I don't know. He's no Jason Witten, but well, that's what coaches are for. Coach him up. DeMarcus Lawrence could be gone. Our defensive end, our prime Pro Bowl defensive end, is 32 years old. He was injured this year, but I mean, who wasn't? He played in 4 games, had 3 sacks. I mean, his best year was 2017 when he had 14.5 sacks, and then he had 10.5 in 2018. Now, he's been injured, but played in all the games in 22-23. So you never know. I mean, if we try to keep him, maybe he'll be fine. He's been injured a couple times, but I mean, oh boy. He's been in playoffs 6 times with Dallas. Only produced 1 sack. That's we really need people to ball out in the playoffs, but I mean, he hasn't been back to that 2017 form, but man, it's all about a balancing act, getting our veterans back, and he has leadership capability, which we desperately need. We absolutely need that. I guess Michael Parsons has been in the league now for a few years, so he can fill a leadership void, but we need captains. We need captains of industry. I don't think that's the right term, but we need captains. We need leaders. We need people to wear the captain's hat in the locker room. And well, I guess he's one of those guys, but unfortunately, if you're not on the field, it's harder and harder to be a captain. Trevon Diggs. There are reports that we could try to trade him. I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence about this. I don't know, but we spent $97 million, 5-year deal, July 23, and he's 26 years old, and this will be his 6th season. He got hurt in 2023 after 2 games, so yeah, that was pretty bad. He's still coming back from that ACL injury. Gosh, played in 11 games last year. Yeah, his best season was 2021, where he had 11 interceptions and led the league, which was pretty incredible. And since then, he's only had 6 interceptions in total. So, I don't know. If I'd known we would do this, then if I was management, I'd be like, let's keep Stephon Gilmore. But Stephon Gilmore's not a long-term prospect, so I don't know what to do. We have a hard time with cornerbacks too. We've had a rough time with cornerbacks in our past, and it is an injury-prone position. So many of our cornerbacks, they get hurt. Even our first-rounders, oh boy, hate to let him go. But if his production is sliding, unfortunately because of injury, then maybe it's something we'll have to do. Draft compensation. It's all about draft compensation. Maybe we'll get someone else. Which actually is the next story. It's a fun story. Azarie Thomas. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, but he is a cornerback out of Florida State. So he's a cornerback draft prospect that we could get. He is the younger brother of our backup safety, Wanye Thomas. I read he's projected for late first round. If we trade back and get more draft picks, then we could definitely get him. If that's really what we want. If we really want a cornerback that we don't have to, trade up for, which we did in 2012. Then yeah, that could definitely maybe that'll work. If we really need him. If we trade Trevon Diggs, get more draft picks, and trade down, and then get more draft picks, trading down, and then trading Trevon Diggs, oh boy, maybe we'll get more draft picks for round 2, get a good running back. You've seen some of my draft scenarios though too. Ashton Gianti, Kelvin Banks, all those key players that could really, really help us out. Since we lost Zach Martin, we could really draft an offensive lineman. And that's key, but we need to rebuild our defense too. That's crucial. Diggs, Thomas, Bland. That could be a great cornerback room, but if we trade Diggs, then we won't have him. So it'll be Thomas and Deron Bland, who also wasn't he was that pick 6 leader a couple of years ago. But oh boy. Stephen Jones said he plans to be selectively aggressive in free agency. Okay, yeah, that's another story. Just don't get a running back. We need to draft one. It's going to be exciting. 9 days until free agency begins. Then the draft. The draft is next month. 50 some odd days away. It's going to be exciting. I'll try to do more stories. Just because we're in the off season doesn't mean there are no stories. So I'm going to try to produce more videos on my podcast and really get into things. But for right now, I'm excited. We have our coaching staff all lined up. Now we just have to get our draft prospects ready, free agents. Let's see who we do get in free agency. Free agency starts pretty soon. So I'll be keeping an eye on you, Cowboys. I'll be keeping an eye on you. But for right now, thanks for liking and subscribing the video, passing this along, and thank you to my Patreon members. I love all you guys. You guys are so great. Thanks for tuning in. Please comment and tell me if I said something wrong, like, Dave, you're crazy. We're going to do this. Well, I'll say, no, you're crazy. We're going to do that. So let me know. Comment below if you have any thoughts or comments, or if you just want to say hi, and I'll see you around. So, always, 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 go Cowboys.